So the other question I wanted to get at, and the reason why I want to look at this, because somebody was interested in an allergen that was a derivative of almond. And the reason I want to cover this particular, forget this part right here. I want to cover this particular question. So I'm going to open the database up, and this is looking up allergy to almond. So when who was the person who submitted the interest in almond? Okay. So the reason I'm bringing this up is when I received that, I looked up that particular protein, and of course it wasn't in there, but or it under that name wasn't in there. So it brings up an important thing. The naming of antigens, protein antigens, varies greatly in some instances. You can have the same protein and two completely different names depending on how it was submitted, when it was submitted, and received its GI number. So what I did instead is I wanted to show you. Yep.
I wanted to say that for allergens, we specifically use the IUAS nomenclature for the allergens.
Yeah, thank you. So, okay, so in this case, interest in almond allergy. And so if instead of looking for the particular allergen, I'm going to look up almond instead. If I could spell it right, or type right. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up allergies down here to almond. So it's a broader, as I mentioned before, you can miss things if you go too specific, or you can be disappointed if you look for a particular thing, and maybe it's just the nomenclature that is off from what you're familiar with. Not that you're wrong, it's just sometimes the nomenclature is crazy. So I'll go ahead and run that search. And it turns out there are quite a few epitopes identified from almond that are, in this case, in the context of disease, and it is PRUD6. And I'm sure there are synonyms for that particular antigen, if you looked those up. And here shows a quick synopsis of that data. And of course, let's see, looks like it's all human data. So that's good. So that's a starting point. Sometimes when you don't find your specific thing or the topic by the name that you're familiar with, sometimes you can go broader. Okay, so that was that example. I just wanted to show you.